Have you ever used an app that just feels sluggish? You know, you tap something and for that split second, nothing happens. It just hangs. Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on one of the biggest but most invisible culprits behind that lag, the way apps prove who you are.
Yeah, that's right. The simple act of logging in and staying logged in can create a huge traffic jam inside an application. See, every single time you load a new screen or tap a button, the system has to ask, hey, who is this again, and are they actually allowed to do that? How that question gets answered is the difference between an app that feels instant and one that feels like it's stuck in molasses.
Okay, so let's actually see the difference. On the left, you've got the old way of doing things, what we call a stateful system. Just look at all those arrows going back and forth. It's so chatty. The server is constantly having to double-check with the database. But now, look to the right. That's the modern, stateless approach. See how clean that is? The server can figure everything out on its own. No extra trips needed. This, right here, is the revolution we're talking about. To really get a handle on what's wrong with that old, chatty system, let's use an analogy that I think makes it super clear. Imagine a traditional server session is basically like a digital coat check at some huge party. So, with a stateful token, all you get is this little coat check ticket. It's just a random string of characters. It doesn't mean anything by itself. Every single time you want to get your coat, or even just check on it, you have to hand over your ticket and the attendant has to run to the back room, that's the database, to look up your info. Now compare that to a stateless JWT. This thing is your VIP all-access pass. It's got your name, your picture, what areas you're allowed in, all printed right on it. You just flash the pass and you're in. Simple. No lookup necessary. And look, this isn't just theory. A study from the KTH Royal Institute of Technology actually dug into a real company, Nordamatic, that was dealing with this exact headache. Their servers were getting bogged down, having to remember every single active user. And when they tried to add more servers to handle more traffic, it was a total nightmare because a user's code check ticket was only recognized by the one server that issued it. To top it off, they had to make the tickets valid for a long time to avoid annoying users, which was a pretty big security risk if a token ever got stolen. Okay, so if the old system is a clunky code check, what's the upgrade? Well, we're going to trade in that flimsy ticket for something way more powerful, a digital passport. In the tech world, we call this a JSON Web Token, or just JWT for short. The magic of the JWT is all in that one phrase, self-contained. All the info the server needs to identify you, your user ID, your permissions, when your session expires, it's all packed right inside the token itself. The server doesn't have to remember you at all. It can have total amnesia about past requests because your token tells it everything it needs to know every single time. It becomes stateless. And this is a perfect illustration of how that digital passport is built. A JWT might just look like a big jumble of text, but it's actually three distinct parts, all separated by dots. First up, in red, you have the header. This just says, hey, I'm a JWT, and here's the encryption method we're using. Next, in purple, is the payload. This is the good stuff, the actual data, like your user ID. And last but most importantly is the signature in blue. This is the cryptographic seal of approval. It proves that the header and payload haven't been messed with. It's what makes the whole thing trustworthy. So the idea sounds really solid, right? But the real question is, what happens when you actually put it to the test in a real-world system? This is where that KTH study gets super exciting. They didn't just talk about it, they actually switched Nordamatic's system to JWTs and measured everything. And the result? Boom. 48%. I mean, just let that number sink in. That's not a small tweak. That is a massive improvement in throughput. We're talking about the system being able to handle nearly 50% more requests every single second, just from changing how it authenticates users. That's a game changer. So how is that even possible? Well, this chart tells the whole story. It's looking at how hard the server's brain, its CPU, has to work. Those tall orange bars, that's the old code check system struggling under the load. And those tiny little blue bars down at the bottom, that's the new JWT system. I mean, it's not even a fair fight, is it? The server is barely breaking a sweat because it doesn't have to make all those exhausting trips to the database anymore. All right, let's put it all together. This table sums up the trade-offs perfectly. With JWTs, you get that incredible 48% boost in throughput, your server's CPU can basically relax, and scaling up is a breeze. But, and there's always a but, right? There's no free lunch. Take a look at that last row, token size. Because the JWT carries all that useful data, it's about 60% larger than a simple old token. And that, well, that brings up a really important security question. Think about it for a second. Do you really want a token that's packed with potentially sensitive information just sitting out there in a user's web browser? Probably not.
And that leads us to an even smarter, more secure pattern that gives us the best of both worlds, the phantom token solution.
So just to quickly recap the two types, you've got opaque tokens, our code check ticket, that pass info by reference. They don't contain any data themselves. Then you have structured tokens, our JWT passport, that pass info by value. The whole issue we're trying to solve now is we love the by value part for our internal servers, but we don't want that value, that data, exposed to the outside world.
And that is precisely what the phantom token approach nails. The core idea is brilliantly simple. Give the client on the outside a secure, meaningless, opaque token to hold on to. But on the inside, behind your defenses, use the speedy and convenient JWT.
So how does this magic trick work? It's this beautiful four-step dance. Step 1, the app on your phone gets a simple, opaque token. It's basically just a random string. Step 2, it sends that token up to a secure front door, what we call an API gateway. Step 3, and here's the magic. The gateway does a secret swap. It takes that simple token and exchanges it for the full, powerful JWT. And finally, step 4, that JWT is forwarded to all the internal services that actually need the data. And here's the most important part. The user's browser, the client, never ever sees the JWT. It has no idea it even exists. To the outside world, that powerful token is a phantom. This means you get all those amazing internal performance benefits we talked about, but with a much tougher security posture that doesn't leak any internal secrets.
And really, that brings us to the big takeaway. For years, building systems felt like this tough trade-off. You had to choose. Do we make it fast, or do we make it secure? It always seemed like you had to sacrifice one for the other. But what technology like JWTs and clever patterns like the phantom token show us is that this is becoming a false choice. The real question we should all be asking now is, why can't we architect for both?